Souls-like fatigue is setting in by Penguinz0. Yes, I can fully agree it's definitely setting in. Not for the actual good Souls-likes, like First Berserker Kazan or Lies of P, which is so goddamn good that it's actually better than some of the actual Souls games. Definitely one of the best Souls-like. The only Souls-like I'd probably put above Lies of P, honestly, is Neo 2. That game was just so goddamn phenomenal. I can't put nothing above it. But yeah, man, the bad ones like Lords of the Fallen. Goddamn, I heard that the new Wuchang Fallen Feathers is just not good. And there's been a slew of other Souls-likes coming out, bruh. They are oversaturating the genre with games that are just ass. That goddamn Tymesia. You know, there was another, like, bro, these games are not good. They're Souls-likes in formula, but they don't feel good. That is the key aspect to actual Souls games and good Souls-likes. The gameplay is king and they feel good to play. That's why Souls games are so lore optional. You can play an actual Souls game and not know a good goddamn thing about the lore because the gameplay is so good, you don't have to give a fuck about the lore. It's optional. You got a story game, an RPG game where the lore is optional because the gameplay is so goddamn good that you play just for that. You don't need the lore. That's what Souls-likes do. And you got these games out here who copy the Souls formula as far as you kill enemies, they respawn if you rest at a bonfire, and if you die, you lose all of your currency and gotta try to get it back. That's it. They don't understand that the game has to feel good to play. So I just wanted to say my piece before hitting play on the video, so I gotta pause a million times. This is a 20-minute video. You're gonna be talking for a little bit. So let's see what he got to say. I will pause and speak on things if I feel like I need to do that. But other than that, without further ado, let's get it.
Well, unfortunately, it finally happened. That dreaded time is upon us. Armageddon, the Bible warned us about. The oversaturation of my favorite video game
my
genre,
God.
Souls-like. There are too many Souls-like.
Too many.
There are so many.
Not enough good
I
ones.
bet even Shang Tsung would want to retire.
That was a good one.
There is a new Souls-like game dropping or being announced. It is preposterous.
I swear.
The genre has become the hero shooter of the 2020s.
Oh my God, that is the perfect way to sum that up.
It's been boiled, broiled, and sautéed to the point where it becomes meaningless, where every studio now says that they borrow elements from it. It's become just an absolute meaningless buzzword in a lot of cases for some games that aren't even Souls-like.
And we knew this was going to happen when Elden Ring gained its popularity. Listen, the Souls games have always been really, really niche, all right? But when Elden Ring happened, which I'm glad it did, and that game is fucking phenomenal, we all know that, you know a lot of other games was going to follow suit and try to be like Elden Ring, but you can't be like Elden Ring, baby. You got to try to do your own shit. Get your own sauce. Look at Lies of P. We were calling Lies of P Baby Bloodborne, and now that Lies of P is out with its DLC, you can make a strong case, and I'm not going to go all the way blasphemous and say that this is 100%, but you can make a strong case that Lies of P is better than Bloodborne. I'm not saying that I feel that way. Bloodborne is just so unique. It's in a class of its own, bro. But Lies of P is that level of quality. I would say that. If Bloodborne is considered S-tier quality in regards of Souls-like gaming, Lies of P is right there next to it. I'd also put Neo 2 right there. Hey, I don't think that's too contentious of an opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ranking it above Bloodborne, but it's on the same tier. To me.
Still use the term to describe certain mechanics. Like if you happen to use the right bumper for an attack or something, they're like, oh,
it's a Souls-like, like, no.
Inspiration for Dark Souls for this one. Meanwhile, you're using right bumper to like change your fucking gun or something. It's just that word and the genre as a whole has become so diluted. And fatigue is really setting in. A lot of people are now yawning and rolling their eyes during every conference that shows a game that even remotely resembles something Souls adjacent. And I hate to see that.
Yeah, there are people that are like, oh my God, I'm tired of Souls-likes.
But I looked up how many Souls-like games have come out this year already. And it's 7.
7?
There's at least been one a month, and they're pretty big budget ones for the most part. Now, not all of them are standalone games that it does include. Like,
say them all so I can give my opinions.
DLC, which was an absolute slapper. And obviously that does include Elden Ring Night Rain.
Okay.
And the point I'm making isn't even to say that all of the Souls games that are coming out now are like bad or anything. In fact, I'd still argue the majority of them are pretty good. But
Eh,
there are some that it's very clear companies are just rushing the shit out, striking while the iron is hot.
right.
And it's getting lazier for some of them. And I hate to see that, because these games are very special to me.
Right.
Now,
Me
I
too.
want this to be not just a rant about the state of this genre, but I also want to just review the most recent one I played, which is Wu Chang Fallen
Oh my
Feathers.
God.
I finished it last night. It was a pretty meaty game. It took me over 16 hours. The full edited playthrough is on my gaming channel, Moist Critical Gaming, if you want to see it.
That's actually not that meaty. Only 16 hours. That's not long at all, really. Damn. Yeah, you could beat this game in a couple days, maybe a few days, depending on how much time you got to dedicate toward gaming. Huh. All right. Anyway, from what I understand, from what I hear about Wu Chang, the combat doesn't feel good. The movement don't feel good. The weapon attacks have no weight. It feels like you're hitting your enemy with paper cuts. It's the kind of game where enemies are literally damaged sponges and they don't stagger at all. I hate that shit. Like, I loved goddamn, whatchamacallit, Black Myth Wukong, but that was one of my biggest complaints in that game. Is like, bro, do these enemies fucking stagger when you hit them ever? No, they don't. Everything about like a Souls game combat that makes the combat so fun to go back and do, Wu Chang does the opposite from what I understand. So it's just not worth the money. It's a full price game. I will not be playing it. It looked good before it came out, but after seeing it, it don't look like a game that I'm gonna spend my time or money on. But you know, maybe some of y'all got different opinions. He's about to give his. Let's listen to it.
And I know me mentioning that I want to review this on the back of this rant about how oversaturated the genre has come immediately plants the idea in your noggin that I fucking hated Wu Chang. But that's not true. I didn't dislike this game or anything. I didn't think it was bad. But I do think Wu Chang is a great example for studios just wanting a Souls game out there without really delivering anything new to the genre at all. So it just feels very generic and thus feels pretty stale.
Also, apparently I heard Lords of the Fallen is way better than it was when it launched. I played the launch version. That shit was ass.
Absolutely abominable PC.
I had fun at first.
It was so bad, in fact,
then it got bad.
that for the first time in who knows how many years, I actually decided not to get the PC version of a game and instead got it on console.
Wow.
So I got this on PlayStation 5 and I had no performance issues at all, but pretty much across the board, everyone was reporting that this game was irredeemable dog shit when it comes to performance on PC. Like, it just didn't even work.
That's another thing about PC, y'all. I be getting into arguments with people about console versus PC. Eventually, consoles are going to get phased out completely and everyone's just going to have PCs. No, they're not. Console will always have a place in gaming for reasons like this. God damn it, they got to make a game work for one goddamn system. If it works on one system, it works on all of them. If they get a game running perfectly and smoothly on PS5, you ain't got to worry about it not running smoothly on somebody else's PS5. It's going to run smoothly on everybody's PS5. It's performance tested for that. You can't performance test a game for everybody's PC build. Everyone has different builds. You got motherfuckers out here like Moist Critical who probably has 4 to 5 digit like money, like, you know, dollar amounts spent in his goddamn PC. I'm pretty sure he has a beast gaming rig. And then you got people who spent like $500 on their gaming rig. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much of a variety for that to ever be a thing. And then again, PC launches and PC ports just have so many issues all the time. It's just not worth it most of the time. Whenever I play, I love my PC, but whenever I play major game releases, I always get them on my PS5. That will always be the case. I'm always gonna get them on my premier console, not PC, for the most part. Every now and again, I'll deviate. It just depends on what it is. But yeah, for those reasons I just stated, console gaming will always have a place. PC gaming is never going to completely phase consoles out. For those of y'all that think that, y'all need to get real. Like, get real. Everybody can't afford a PC. Especially with the price of parts going up and shit like it is. Yeah, bro.
It was like the fucking McDonald's ice cream machine of video games. And they also made an apology recognizing how...
It don't even always be how strong your PC is.
How inexcusable it was, so it's good they're at least recognizing that. But
yeah, look at that.
Never shipped in that state in the first place. This is a topic I can yap about till the cows come home. It is shocking that we still get so many majorly broken PC releases for video games.
If you game only on PC, I feel bad for you. Because you be having to deal with this bullshit.
It's almost just a scam. Like, you are paying for a product that can't even run on PC. It's so
You ain't playing no games at launch, baby.
Common. but they're doing their best to update it and fix it. They've been rolling out patches, which some people are reporting are helping.
Does it at least run now?
They're chipping away at it, but that has been a huge hurdle for this game. But for me, since I played it on console, I didn't have those issues. So
Gotcha.
let's dive into the actual spaghetti and the meatballs of the game. I want to start with some of the positive things here, so that way I'm not just negative Nancy off rip.
Okay.
One thing this game put a big emphasis on,
It looks good,
was story. There are NPCs out the wazoo here. And
okay, good story. Okay.
A lot of exposition and give you
Graphically, the game looks amazing. I'll give it that.
They did a lot to carve out a world here that I do think was pretty fresh. I thought the story was good. I enjoyed the narrative, and I appreciated that. There's a lot of quest lines as well.
That's what's up.
I can't believe I'm immediately going to attach a hemorrhoid onto this. Granted, a lot of those quest lines you follow don't really give you any reward worthy of the time you put into it. You don't really get anything for doing a lot of the side activities other than...
Oh, that's ass.
Another charge on your healing flask. In this game, it's the mana base. That is like the best possible reward you get for the side content, which is just a little underwhelming. Yeah, it's a good reward because it's really helpful to have another charge, but you went through a lot of effort. You'd kind of want something more exciting, like a new weapon or something. But
side content that you aren't motivated to do.
Quest lines. They save for like 3 or so big side quest lines that are easily missable. In fact, one of them I fucked up. But point is, it is cool how much story there is. I just do wish the rewards were a little better for doing so much out of your way for some of the side content.
Okay.
But I thought that was cool. I think the gameplay is very smooth. I think it is pretty silky across the board. I think a lot of the abilities, like the disciplines is what they're called in this game, are flashy and fun. It feels responsive. It feels good. I was going to, once again, put a little blemish there with a little asterisk with something, but I'm going to refrain. I'll get into some of the gameplay complaints here in a little bit.
Okay.
But again, overall, I
know there's complaints for the gameplay. That's what I've heard.
And since you can seamlessly go from one weapon to the other through having a Skyborn Might, which is something you charge up through various different means, you can then switch from one weapon to the other while also using a skill. It makes it flashy, fun, and smooth. It's cool. There's a lot of room to play there and get very creative in combos. Another thing I liked about the game is its skill tree. Granted, a lot of the things on the skill tree are just like +1 to endurance, +1 to strength, that kind of thing. There are some certain nodes in the skill tree that do change the way your build will function, such as giving you the ability to deflect on the third hit of a light attack string. Deflecting in this game, or clashing, excuse me.
That is one thing that I heard, that you have to unlock the ability to deflect or parry or whatever. Why would you do that? Don't ever do that. Don't ever lock deflecting and parries behind the skill tree so I don't integrate it into my play style until later when I unlock it. Don't do that shit, bro. It needs to be a built-in base mechanic. Why? Like, come on, I can see like a hard parry or hard counter or something, but just a regular, like, perfect block. If you're gonna have perfect blocking in the game, I need access to it right away. Why would you? I don't know, bro. That's my personal opinion. Y'all can tell me how y'all feel about that.
Deflecting. Clashing is when, like, you attack during one of their attacks or they attack you during one of your attacks, and then they will hit each other, and it is a really good tool to allow you to continue pushing through that without taking tons of damage, and it can change the way that you approach a build. And it is free to respec those points, which is very nice. So you get to try a lot of different things.
Okay.
And it makes it fresh. So you're never...
I like free respec.
Build, and the respecs aren't a resource, so you can...
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. The fuck? I gotta rewind 5 seconds. My Alexa just started playing music.
Fresh. So you're never locked into one build, and the respecs aren't a resource, so you can freely change things in and out. Very similar to the way Black Myth Wukong did it, which is something I really appreciate. Another great thing...
What the respecs free in Black Myth? I forgot.
On its bones. It is a long game. Like, it took me a pretty girthy chunk of time here to get through it, and I missed a boss, unfortunately. I usually have to do 100% boss.
16 hours is not that long, bro.
This time I accidentally missed one through flubbing.
I know he's a busy guy, so maybe it's long for him.
I made a big boo-boo by exploring too much and bricking my quest line, which locked me out of a boss that I really wanted to fight. So yeah, there is a lot of content here. There is a lot of exploring.
Yeah, Wuchang Fallen Feathers on How Long to Beat says 20 hours, about 33 and a half for main plus extra. And if you're a completionist, about 53 hours. But yeah, 20 hours, that ain't nothing, bro.
here. It's exploring with a capital E. This is, I would say, comfortably the most densely packed levels in the genre. And
Really?
I actually mean that as more of a negative thing than a good thing. I think there's a lot of people that praise that. For me, I didn't like that. And okay, I've given you a lot of positives. Now we're going to mix and match positives and negatives. The levels in this game,
I don't know about that.
I think are just so counterintuitive. There's no like flow to them. It's just all haphazardly branching paths. So, in pretty much every single map, you will reach a fork in the road.
Okay.
And regardless of where you go, that fork will reach a fork. And then you'll follow one path there, and that fork will reach a fork.
I hate that. I ain't gonna lie.
And that ladder will wrap around to one of the previous forks, where then maybe you end up going down the other side of it, and you'll find another ladder which will wrap back around to a fork, or maybe it'll go somewhere else for another branching path. Like, there's no fluidity to its level design. It didn't feel fun.
I don't like that shit at all, bro. I've told y'all, like, again, my open world fatigue has subsided. Like, I'm back on open world games again, but like, I don't like maps that don't have any like flow to them. Like, some games need linearity to a certain extent, bro. And this is like fake like option, like, oh, you're gonna give me a fork in the road, but you know I want to find all the shit, so I gotta go down all these forks and fuck around and forget some forks. Like, come on, man. All these goddamn branching paths. Stop doing it. They don't need so many. Like,
it felt like a fucking headache and a chore. And since I did end up getting just sucked into exploring so many things just because I was so curious what reward might be there, it just leads to the most like nauseating traversal. And the worst part is when you do that level of exploring, you don't really get any good rewards. Like, I did get lucky a few times where the reward was like a new weapon, but the weapons you get from it, like, most of them were pretty bad. Like, they weren't great weapons, unfortunately. And you were lucky to,
so you can explore, but the explorer don't really feel worth it. That's not good.
Where you might get like one thing that'll let you pop it for more mercury, which is this game's version of Souls.
Oh my god.
And like, that's it. Or like you'll get some purple moss so you can cure corruption. It never felt rewarding to explore.
You can't do that, bro.
Like, I love the idea of having maps like this where there is so much there. Like like a soup with so many chunks for you to chew on. But it's like empty, it's like styrofoam chunks. Like, you don't get anything out of doing that. And it just kind of sucks to chew through. You know, if that makes any sense. And it sucks.
Oh my god, bro.
A lot of potential there. Like, I think the maps look really nice. Like, I think every level is visually beautiful. I think the whole game
the game looks good.
Pretty gorgeous to
visually.
Look at. I think there's a lot of people that were really trying to find.
They did their thing on that.
To hate about this game for some reason. So people were criticizing it for looking too similar to things like Black Myth Wukong
or
Wulong Fallen Dynasty. And I can get that argument kind of, but it doesn't bother me. Like, I still
like, get out of here with that.
Their own identity and the
give credit where it's due,
especially when it came to like their bosses and even some of the enemy designs. So that didn't bother me. It's just I hated the way the maps were laid out. And the thing they did with each map here, like all of the levels, is the way they would make it like difficult is they would just add tons and tons of like random traps and statuses out the wazoo. So there'd be like corruption fart fumes that you'd have to like wander through. You need to put on armor that's really resistant to corruption so you don't get corrupted on the way through and then need to pop the purple moss. Or there'd be like blight containers where if you hit them too hard, or if you like run through them or dash through them, it'll shoot blight balls at you, which half your health temporarily. Like, so many statuses that make it annoying to get through as opposed to like hard or fun.
Yeah, instead of losing to the enemies, you're just getting your ass whooped by statuses.
And something that also made it even more tedious was this game's baffling decision to have such a shortage of shrines. Shrines being the bonfires of this game.
Okay.
The shrines are placed really, really far apart. And there are shortcuts. Like, there's no, like, you know, sacrifice of shortcuts. There are quite a handful of them.
Okay.
But they don't make it that much faster. So another big problem people talk about in this game is the runbacks. Like, if you die to a boss, most of the time it's going to be a long run.
Oh, not Dark Souls 2 again.
So you better pray.
Dark Souls 2 runbacks.
You are not going to like the runback if you keep dying.
Damn.
They're not very generous with the shrines. And again, that doesn't do anything to make the game harder. It just makes it more tedious.
Yeah.
That's like a very arbitrary way of making the game appear more challenging or punishing than it is. That's just annoying. And that was a bit of a headache. And overall, I would say this game is more on the easier side in the genre, which by no means is a bad thing. I think that's totally fine. It's just their way of making things harder was just by making them more annoying, as opposed to like better.
It's never good.
Or making them, more challenging mechanics. It just made them slower and tedious ones. Now, I want to talk about the combat again, because like I said, it is fun. I do like the combat mechanics.
Is it as fun?
Here. But there is nothing new in it. It's like exactly what you're used to in the genre. It doesn't try to do anything super different. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. I mean, yeah, you do got to have like something that sets it apart. Like Lies of P, you got regular Souls combat, but it's like it sets it apart. First of all, Lies of P probably has the best weapon variety in the genre, even better than the actual Souls games. I don't even think it's debatable. There's a hell of weapons in the game, and each weapon in the game can be broken apart. You can attach the head of one weapon to the tail of a different weapon, you know what I'm saying, or the handle to the, blade and shit, and get different weapon move sets and shit. If you want to take the head of a goddamn sledgehammer and put it on a dagger handle and poke people with a sledgehammer, it ain't gonna be that effective, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. You could take a big old long ass pole blade and put a dagger on the end of it and, swing it around and poke it with a little dagger. But with a long ass pole blade of like another weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make your own goddamn custom weapons. They can either be really, really, really OP or not good at all, but funny to use, so you do it anyway. Best build variety for that purposes. Then like, you got the special moves in the game. What are they called? The little bar at the top of the screen for Lies of P, the little arts moves. You hit the triangle button or the Y button on Xbox and you use those. Those are really fire too. And depending on the weapon you got, like if you use the one from Wolong, the Wolong weapon that they put in Lies of P, that's just a straight up counter. That weapon is fire. That is like a good weapon to run through the game again with if you haven't done it yet. The point that I'm making is it makes the combat feel unique. On top of the game having perfect blocking, which is one of those games again where you can perfect block everything as long as you got good timing. I love it, bro. Like Lies of P is just so good. It's so good. I thought it was gonna be good when I first seen it, but then when I actually played it, masterpiece. I played through the entire game, by the way, on the channel. You could probably find the playlist. Not even probably. You can definitely find the playlist on my channel if you look for it.
I think it's a requirement to do that or anything if you're making a game.
But you gotta get yourself a unique identity.
Wrong with just doing what,
or just be really, really, really solid.
That came before you, but doing it really well. You don't need to put your own quirky, unique spin on it. You don't.
If you do it really good, yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. But this game is so content to just be, serviceable. It doesn't go.
And serviceable is not enough.
Good.
Not in the Souls-like genre.
Great or anything. It's just good enough.
It's no good enough.
And it delivers what you expect. And I guess at this point, with how many fucking Souls games I've played, I just appreciate if it did try and go beyond that and be great and want to do something more special. Now the game has a few weapon types. It has long sword, dual blades, one-handed sword, spear, and axe.
Okay.
And there's not a ton of weapons in this game for each of those categories, which didn't really bother me because I ended up mainly just using Lashing Whip. The versatility in this game doesn't even really come from its weapons so much. It mainly comes from like the discipline skills plus whatever skill, whatever weapon you choose comes with. That's mainly where it comes from. So for me, the Lashing Whip made my attacks have longer range, and I have like the dance where it hits a lot and it's long range. It felt really strong.
Okay.
So I didn't mind any of that. There's also spells in this game. There's a big emphasis on.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
You get a lot of them. And I
didn't Backlogs just do a video of him trying to beat the whole game with spells only?
Spell casting and Souls.
I didn't watch it yet.
It's just not how.
But I'm pretty sure he made that video. Unless I'm tripping.
So I don't really have a lot of say in how the spells feel in this game. I used a lot of them just to see it because they were very flashy and cool, and I have no doubt you can make a really fun.
Yeah, he did do that video. I need to watch that.
It's just not typically how I like to approach games in this genre. So don't have a lot to say there, but they did seem very cool. With
spells is like a secondary run. You don't do that on the first run. I don't anyway.
Very by the numbers, like what you expect without going above and beyond by any means, but it was still good, and I had fun with it.
Okay, well that's what's up.
By far my biggest complaint in this entire game.
But we come to the big complaint. But before I say that, just know that these video game corporations be rating these games stupidly, bro. Like, they gave this game an 8, apparently. IGN gave this game an 8, which they also gave Lies of P an 8. And they also gave First Berserker Kazan an 8. So in their opinion, all three of these games are of the same level of quality. You motherfuckers need their head examined. I'm convinced they don't really play games. They play them for like 10 minutes and then judge them. Like, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell.
They made a decision when it comes to the combat that I think really fucking sucks. And it's how they handle knockdown. Every boss and tons of enemies have multiple moves and ways of knocking you down. Which, in Souls games, is always, like, tough, because once you get knocked down, it throws off your rhythm, and you can get punished. Like, it is always rough. But in other games in this genre, you have ways of combating that. Like, there are some iframes, like, when you roll out of it, or there are perks where you can do, like, a quick roll out of a knockdown. In this game, there is none of that. If you get knocked down, you will pretty much die in like every case unless you're really tanky or if the boss or enemy decides not to keep attacking. When you get knocked down, there is no quick get up. If you are spamming roll to get up, you are still going to get up at a pretty slow pace, and regardless of where you like roll in what direction, you will still get hit.
Oh, that's some bullshit
on it, and it'll typically lead to a knockdown chain. So you'll get knocked down once and you'll try and like roll out of it real quick so you can get back on your feet and fight. But what'll happen is the boss is still going in like a string, or maybe it starts a new string and it'll knock you down again, and then you're gonna eat another attack when you try and get up.
Oh hell no!
And usually it's like
that
3 or 4 hits for that.
Don't feel fun at all.
Get knocked down again.
Hell no!
Eat a huge hit when you get up and you get punished. You can't really avoid damage once you get knocked down. And if you try and like wait it out, like where you lay on the ground instead of try and like roll out of it and you try and slow get up, obviously you're gonna eat a fucking wallop there too.
Right?
You're not like invincible when you're getting up or anything like that. So
why would they make that a thing? Hell no.
Or something, you'll just eat attacks while you're still fucking snoring down there, you know, still sleeping.
Okay.
There are no really good options of combating knockdown in this game other than just don't get hit. Like, that's really it.
No, yeah, that's some bullshit.
When you're fighting a boss, you could be doing it perfectly, but if you get knocked down once, that's basically curtains.
That's
and
ass.
I really didn't like that. That doesn't feel punishing per se. Like, it is. Like, that is punishing, but in a way that doesn't feel fair. Because it's not like other games in this genre.
Yeah, it's another, like, a happy medium you have to establish in a Souls-like game, really in any game in general, but especially Souls-likes. The combat has to feel like hard but fair. Like, you have to feel like, okay, I died because I fucked up. I died because I did something that I wasn't supposed to do, or I made a bad decision, so the game punished me for it by letting me get hit or, you know, dying. So that way when you come back and fix your mistakes and you win, it feels good. But if the game is just bullshitting you in ways where you can't really do nothing about it, it's not gonna feel fun to play. You're not gonna feel compelled to keep on playing the game. So if that's what they doing on here, then hell no, bro.
Punishing, but in a way that doesn't feel fair. Because it's not like other games in the genre do it like that.
Good Souls-likes feel fair.
You do have ways of saving that.
Even when they're super hard.
Not losing your run for it. Like, there are ways that you can be skillful about solving that problem, as opposed to just not ending up in that position in the first place. And I don't like that approach of like, well, just shouldn't have got knocked down. You should have known you'd die the second you got knocked down.
Man, fuck out of here.
Now you're out of options. That's checkmate.
So play perfect?
So
nah.
Infuriating. Like I said, the game is on the easier side. But the way they try and make it harder is through things like that. And I think that sucks.
It's like arbitrary difficulty.
A lot of other people complained about, and I did too for a little while, but it grew on me, is how much the bosses move. So in this game, I think the bosses are really cool and very flashy, and I think they look really nice, and some of them have very fun attacks and like very good patterns to learn that make it really feel super cool. But every boss in this game is constantly moving and spamming. There are a lot of bosses that will just spam combos or spam spells endlessly while also spamming iframes.
So you can't catch them?
Moving around the arena. They're jumping around you. They're teleporting away.
That's some bullshit.
So it makes it very hard for you to get a big punish in. It makes it hard for you to get like a charged heavy on like a back shot or anything like that. And a lot of people were noting that that was frustrating. And for me it was too sometimes. But it's one of those things where towards the end of the game I kind of figured out how to fight back against like the constant iframe spam and dodging and moving around. So it didn't bother me that much towards the end. But in the beginning, yeah, it was kind of annoying. But I don't think that's the biggest deal in the world.
I mean, man, nobody gonna play that deep into the game if it ain't fun.
Take that because the
first few hours
always moving, it does nullify some builds. Like, it does make them just not viable, such as some
Like the
things
Oonga
that you
Boonga
might want
builds.
to try with the axe, because it is kind of slow, and you can still make it work if you're like really tight with it. But because they are always moving, you might not get your whole string off, or you might not get to activate everything you want to with your skills in order to
mean you
get
won't
your
be having
build
as much
going
fun
and
with the
going
axe.
and doing damage on the boss, because they are moving
And it'll be
so
pushed
much.
to use a
You
different
need to
weapon,
be
which you
able
shouldn't have to
strike
do.
faster. You need to be able to do something to catch up to them to start attacking. So I understand why some people and their builds find it to be like really, really annoying. Anyway, overall, I think Wuchang is a solid game. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I had fun playing it. Though it is a very average, middle-of-the-road Souls game. It doesn't try to do anything big or new or innovative or special. It is content just being serviceable.
Ain't
For
it?
some people, that's fine, and I will say for its price tag, I think that is also a big, like, point in their favor. Like, that was.
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, it's like 40, right?
That's a really good decision. So for the $50 price tag, you do get a
50.
lot of content, and you get a fine Souls game. So you get a cheaper price tag for a still good Souls game. I think that's a solid deal right there.
I don't know. He's saying that, but I've seen other reviews
If you get it
that
on PC, you might not be able to
glower
play it
of this
all,
game.
apparently, which I think is a huge problem. Games should not be able to be shipped in that state and sold. But I've yet.
And I'm not taking that risk.
Going down that path again. I played it on console, so I didn't have those issues. Anyway, though, overall, like I said, Wuchang is good, but it's not great. It's not amazing or anything. It's fine. It is a good Souls game for a very decent price that I think was a good decision from them.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it. Yep.
All right. So he said what he had to say about Wuchang. I said what I had to say. I don't think I'm gonna be spending my $50 on that game. From everything I've seen, the gameplay just ain't it, and that's like the most important aspect of a Souls-like, bro. You got a Souls-like game, and the gameplay ain't really hitting like that. I don't want to play it. Then you know what I'm saying. I'm not compelled to play it, and I'm not going to. I'm definitely not gonna spend money on it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll improve it as time goes on. We'll have to see. But, you know, this is going to be one of them ones I'm going to go ahead and skip. We're going to wait until the next. I keep on trying to include it in Souls like Phantom Blade Zero is what I was trying to say. I don't know if I want to. Is it a Souls like? Kind of, but not really. It don't play like one. So I guess you can't really call it a Souls like. We'll see how it goes when the game comes out. Like I said, next year in the fall. That's some bullshit, bro. But anyway, man, thank y'all for tuning in. If you got any opinions on Souls like, did you play Wuchang Fallen Feathers? Y'all let me know if y'all thought the game was good. What is your top 3 Souls likes? Not actual Souls games. So no Demon Souls, no Dark Souls 1 through 3, no Bloodborne, no Elden Ring. Top 3 Souls likes. Let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure you show I love the video, like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, we about this thing. It's boy Daru, we signing out. Peace.